Good morning, everyone. Okay, so I should know what I'm doing this morning and I should know where we're going, but I don't because I didn't read the email. So we are on an adventure with my Smithsonian group. I just can't tell you when, what, or why, but it's soon to come. I got a hibiscus tea, but I realized I got it for here instead of to go, and I have to meet everybody outside in 5 minutes. Luckily, I'm exactly where I need to be, but okay, so now I'm on my way to prepare to do my presentation that all SAM fellows get to do. It's like an introduction into your research and who you are and things like that, and I'm gonna go set up. Okay, so a little different angle, but I'm still in the same room. Everybody's just left. The talk went really well. I was pretty nervous. If you know anything about me, if you don't, quick summary. I did my dissertation on Afro-Latinidad and museums, specifically in Sao Paulo, Brazil. I decided I didn't want to do that for the rest of my life, so I jumped ship and I am pursuing a book project with completely new medium, photography, with an artist that I've never studied before, Tony Gleaton, and I am oftentimes expected to present on this project that is completely new and foreign to me. And today was kind of the first time that I did that in a professional setting. I mean, I've had to have conversations about my book, and for the most part, people are like, oh, wow, that sounds so nice. But I'm specifically here at the Smithsonian to do this research, and so they're expecting you to do a presentation to share what you're going to be doing while you're here and what you hope comes out of it. And so I was nervous, not about the presentation. It's actually pretty good. I was nervous about the questions because I'm still so brand new in this field. Like, so I don't really know much about photography. I know more about the actual photographer named Tony Gleaton than probably anybody in the room, because not a lot of people are researching him. But I don't know as much as I would like to know if I'm entering into academic spaces. But all in all, it went pretty well. There was probably one person who was asking questions where I'm like, ooh, I can't really answer it. But she wasn't asking the questions to stump me. I could tell she was asking the questions because she genuinely had a passion for it and wanted us to like continue a conversation together somewhere else. She is currently doing like work on Afro-Mexican photography, so she's deep into this research right now, which I am not deep into that research yet, but that was where she's coming from. She was coming from a place of expertise, and I can tell she was trying to help me while also saying like, we have a lot in common, let's build a relationship. And I'm totally down for that. I am, what does the internet say? I'm a girl's girl, but more importantly, I am an academic's academic. I like to, even though I'm not good at it, I like to build academic relationships. I like to be around nice people who share similar interests as me. So that was really nice. Yeah, I mean, the cool thing about my research, not that y'all asked, but the cool thing about my research is that most people are not actually studying Afro-Latinidad. And that is the thing I know. Like, I know a lot. I'm very confident about Afro-Latin history, specifically Mexico and Brazil, but I do know a lot about Dominican Republic. I do know a lot about Cuba. I know a lot about Puerto Rico and Central America, and like I have a general understanding of the colonial process of Latin America in relation to the transatlantic slave trade, in relation to racial identity formation, in relation to social processes. I'm not going to be able, unless it's like Mexico or Brazil, I'm not going to be able to tell you like years or governmental policies or like wars or things like that, like those large historical markers, but I can tell you like the general social context or political context within each nation, including like Argentina. You know, it's like I can tell you about how the nation built a national identity and its relationship to colonialism. And because of that, I love talking or having these talks, because a lot of people come from different Latin American countries. They're coming from their own nexus and their own research, and so they're like, oh, in Puerto Rico this does this, and it's like, yeah, I see that. I've also read this person who does this and this. Have you considered that and that? And so the conversation always feels so good and fruitful when Afro-Latinidad is in the center. But also I enjoy it because there's a lot of people who just have no relationship to Afro-Latinidad and are just really excited to say, like, again, I'm a Libra with a sweet Libra girl heart, and so they're just like, oh, I want to hear more. That's so exciting. I've never heard anything like that before. And that, again, it's not even that it strokes my ego. It's like, it makes me feel like, oh, people are having fun. Yay, us. So in that regard, it was a really good talk. I did go over my time, but I also wasn't timing myself, which I usually do, and I don't know why I didn't do it now. I also didn't bring a pen, so people were saying things and I was missing it, and then the coordinator of the program, she gave me a pen, but then at that point I had missed a lot of information, but then I started writing things down. So note to self, in future references, always bring a pen. But yeah, all in all, really good, really excited. And everybody here seems super nice, which is great, because I've done a lot of talks, and sometimes people afterwards are kind of snooty. And that wasn't the vibe here. Everybody really seemed genuinely happy that I was here, and that's really nice. So I don't know what I'm about to do, honestly. I might work out. I might walk home. Who knows? But I am kind of overusing my brain. So we'll see what the day holds. I don't know if y'all can tell, but it's kind of raining a little bit. Okay, I've been home for a while. I'm eating an Uncrustable. Something that I wanted to update you all on or give you information was the mosque. You just saw me go to a mosque for no reason. So in the morning, I had no idea what we were going to because I didn't read my email. But then when we got back, after we went and stuff like that, I was like, oh, this is what's happening. So that mosque that we went to, or that building that we went to, was a mosque. And it was the first mosque It's the first mosque in the U.S. that was built with the permission, funding, and guidance of the U.S. government. So there, I think, was at least one other mosque built in the U.S. at that time, but this one was built. Actually, there might have been a couple others, but the point was, this one was built by the U.S. government in response to, during this time, I wish I could remember the dates, but I can't. A Turkish leader came and had passed away in the U.S., and there were no mosques around for them to do his funerary process or the rituals. And so as a response, they built this mosque as an international kind of solidarity, community building focus, where all of these different nations, the U.S. included, came together to create this space, because it is as the person who was telling us about it, like a human right or an essential right to be able to experience your funerary practices, no matter where you are, right? That is just a basic human right. And so they built this mosque and there was support internationally. So while the U.S. did start it and had architects from around the world, components of the mosque was sent from different places. So like the tiles came from Turkey, the glass windows came from Morocco, I think the dome came from Egypt, and like different components were all sent in to help build this mosque in DC. And so we were going there, one, to look at the architectural like importance of it, but also to learn the history of this landmark in DC, and this cultural space in DC. And so we got to tour it. We learned a little bit about the history of the building, and then after that, as you saw, we went and got something to eat. And so that was a kind of Smithsonian fellow outing that was like an enrichment experience, and it was really nice. And I'm really happy that we went, and I got to go and see and see that institution in the building and hear the stories. There's really not much else that I'm going to do today to keep it a 100. I am gonna eat this Uncrustable. I have a cup of milk behind me. I like to eat milk and peanut butter and jellies. But if you're interested in learning more or seeing more about my Smithsonian journey, you should watch this video next, because that's just another video of Smithsonian bliss and what it's like to be a postdoctoral fellow here at the Smithsonian American Art Museum. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.